Whether it's a vacation home or an investment property, buying a second home is a big decision. One key piece to figure out? Insurance. So how different is it to insure a second property? Let's talk about that. Shelly from Barry Insurance. Buying a home is a big investment involving a lot of time, money, and decisions, and buying a second property doubles that responsibility. You know you'll need to insure your new property, but what is that process like, and how does it differ from insuring your first home? Well, in this video, we will be breaking down everything you need to know about insuring a second home. So in this video, you will learn what type of insurance do I need for a second home? What is covered and not covered under a second home policy? How much does it cost to insure a second home? What to know if you're insuring a rental property? Let's jump in. What insurance do you need to insure a second property? Well, you might think your second property requires some sort of special property coverage. The answer is more straightforward than you think. You need a homeowner's policy. Now, before you click away from the video, you should know that there are a few differences between insuring a primary and secondary home. First, let's review what a standard homeowner's insurance policy covers. What is covered by homeowners insurance? A standard homeowners policy is made up of 6 main types of coverage with some optional coverages available. Dwelling covers the physical structure of your home. Other structures covers damages to structures in your yard that are not attached to the home, such as fences, garages, sheds, pools, and driveways. Personal property covers all the stuff you own in your home or yard. This will repair or replace damaged or stolen property subject to your deductible. Loss of use covers temporary lodging if you are unable to stay in your home while repairs are being made during a claim. Medical payments to others covers medical expenses to a person who is injured on your property. Personal liability covers medical expenses and legal fees if someone were to sue you after getting injured on your property. Personal injury is an optional add-on coverage that would cover you in situations of libel, slander, or defamation lawsuits. Some examples of covered situations within a homeowner's policy include storm damage. However, the damage must be sudden. Insurance will not cover damage from a gradual leak that the homeowner could have addressed before the claim. Theft, fire damage, sudden or accidental water discharge, for example, from a burst pipe, water heater rupture, or washing machine or dishwasher failure. Keep in mind, insurance will cover the damage but will not replace the failed appliance or cause. Water overflows from toilets or sinks. Optional coverage for sewer or water backup. This is different from overflow coverage as this backup happens deeper in the plumbing system than the drain. Optional service line coverage. This covers the cost of repairing damaged pipes or wires that come into the property, such as power lines, water pipes, or septic lines. Optional equipment breakdown coverage. This coverage pays for damages to your home from power surges, electrical shorts, mechanical breakdown, motor burnout, or operator errors. If you want to learn more about homeowners insurance, including the coverages and exclusions, check out the article linked in the description of this video. Differences when insuring a second property. The good news is that you can insure your second home similarly to your primary home with a homeowner's insurance policy. However, there are some differences and additional requirements you have to navigate when insuring the second home. One obstacle you may run into is a limited choice of insurance carriers. When it comes to second homes, some carriers will only insure the second home if they insure the primary residence and vehicles, while other carriers may require you to have your second home insured through a separate carrier based on coastal restrictions. Another common adjustment is that you may need to winterize the second home. Since many second homes are unoccupied for periods of time and may be coastal, insurance carriers may require you to winterize the home. This means taking steps to protect the home to make sure it doesn't incur damage while unoccupied. Winterizing requirements can vary based on the insurance provider, but can include maintaining the heat at a certain level, usually around 60 degrees, draining pipes or turning off the water, installing a temperature monitoring system with a battery backup, making sure plumbing is in good condition and has been updated within the last 25 years and doesn't utilize lead or galvanized pipes, making sure the roof is in good condition and is less than 25 years old, also no flat roofs, possibly hiring a caretaker if needed. Sometimes these policies may also carry a named storm or hurricane deductible as well, since storm damage is more common if the property is coastal. If that is the case, the lender may also require you to purchase a separate flood insurance policy. If you'd like to learn more about flood insurance, check out the article linked in the description of this video. How much does it cost to insure a second home? As is the case with regular homeowners insurance, prices for policies will vary based on the property's size, location, materials, possessions, risks, the coverage limits and deductibles you select, and other factors. For a more accurate estimate, we recommend reaching out to your insurance agent. However, you can expect to pay somewhere in the range of $700 to $6,000 per year. Keep in mind, because the risk of damage to a second home is greater than a primary residence, insurance companies generally charge more for secondary home insurance. Also, some carriers may not allow certain discounts like a mature home credit and account credit on second homes. As we mentioned earlier, if the home ever has a storm-related claim, you may have to pay a higher deductible. So insuring a second home can result in higher costs in a few different ways.
What if the second home is a rental property? Buying a vacation home is a great way to get away, but what if you're buying the second home as a rental or investment property? That does complicate things on the insurance side. If you're renting out a 1 or 2 unit property, you will need to insure it with a dwelling fire policy rather than a homeowner's policy. A dwelling fire policy is very similar to a homeowner's policy, but many of the coverages are catered to the risks of a rental property. Keep in mind that this policy is to protect you as the owner of the property and not the tenants living there. They will need their own insurance to cover their belongings and have liability coverage. As with many insurance policies, there are several factors that go into the cost of a dwelling fire policy, but we typically see them fall between $1,500 to $3,000 per year. Another thing to note, if you're insuring a multi-unit property containing 4 or more units, you will actually need a commercial insurance policy. To learn more information about that, check out the article linked in the description of this video. Insuring a vacant property. Since secondary homes are not usually primary residences, there may be stretches of time where that property is vacant. Since nobody is occupying the property, a vacant home does not need as much coverage as a homeowner's policy, so you will need vacant home insurance. These policies are specifically designed to cover the dwelling and liability risks associated with a vacant home. One major claim concern is vandalism. However, since there is more associated risk due to the property being vacant, you can expect this policy to cost more than a homeowner's policy. If you'd like to learn more about this coverage, check out the article linked in the description of this video. Another scenario would be if your property is vacant due to a renovation. In that case, you would actually need a builder's risk policy. This is an individualized type of property insurance specifically designed for buildings under construction. It covers the property and homeowner from financial loss resulting from damage or loss of the project structure or materials during the course of construction. These policies tend to cost between 1% and 4% of the total cost of construction. If you'd like to learn more about builder's risk insurance, check out the links in the description of this video. Whether it's a vacation getaway spot or an investment property to help generate some extra income, getting a second home can be an exciting milestone. Knowing the key differences between insuring your primary and second home will ensure you're covered no matter what you use it for. If you have any questions or want to learn more about insuring a second home or any of the other insurance topics we discussed in this video, check out our Learning Center on our website. We have tons of articles and videos on a variety of insurance topics. Thank you for watching, and if you found today's video helpful, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our YouTube channel. We post videos every week breaking down the world of insurance for our viewers. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you in the next video.